What is the story, everybody? I hope you're keeping well. Welcome to Wednesday night's late night agenda. The transfer window is really starting to ramp up now. A lot of people are probably getting frustrated, but I'm going to try and explain a different side of this window to you and see how we got on tonight, because I know the stuff around Raheem Brewster's got a lot of people worked up, myself included. We'll talk about Wijnaldum. We'll even talk about the fact that there could be a little bit of interest in Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and lots of other bits and pieces in between. As always, though, I hope that you're all well. I hope that you're healthy. I hope that your loved ones are safe, and I hope that you're enjoying life as much as you can. Really appreciate you guys giving up your time. But I want to kick off tonight's stream with a little bit of good news. As you know, on Anfield Agenda, we do love to give back, and we've decided that because we had a record month on the channel, brilliant numbers, brilliant participation, everything that we've done, we want to do a bit of a giveaway. So we are going to give away this signed 16 by 12 Kenny Dalglish poster with a certificate of authenticity. There are loads of ways that you can enter this competition, folks. As you can see on the screen, you subscribe to our YouTube channel, that's one entry. Follow us on Instagram, that's another entry. Follow us on Twitter, you know the deal, another entry. And if you join our Flick group, that is another entry. There's a pinned tweet on the Anfield Agenda Twitter account as well. If you retweet that, another entry. We're going to be giving this away after the Chelsea game on Sunday in the post-match show. So make sure that you go over, you join the Anfield Agenda Flick account, Twitter, Instagram, and everything in between. And we will be giving that to one lucky person. It doesn't matter where in the world you are. I'll post it out to you. As I said, it does come with a certificate of authenticity. And who doesn't want something from King Kenny? Do you know what I mean? So look, as I said, we do like to try and give back as and when we can on the channel. So again, ladies and gentlemen, that Flick chat group, if there's one thing I want to push you guys to give a go to, it is the Flick chat group. There's a link in the description. It's completely free. We've nearly got 500 reds in there already. We'd love to be greedy and try and bring that to 1,000 by the weekend. But you know what to do. Just look in the link. Everything's in the description of the stream. But anyway, let's get to talk about training today. Bit of a training update for you guys. So Kostas Tsimikas is back after reports of a positive test. I'm not even going to say the word. You know what test I'm talking about. He took part in training today, but he's unlikely to play against Chelsea at the weekend. Probably playing the League Cup against Lincoln City next week. A game which, of course, we hope to cover on the channel here as well. That's on Tuesday night, by the way. That Carabao Cup third round game against Lincoln City. Neco Williams was involved in training after missing the session after international duty. Shaqiri was back in full training as well. But the big news from today's training is you cannot tell me I'm not having an impact on Liverpool Football Club when you see young Billy Cometio coming in with a shaved head. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it could be a coincidence, or Billy could know what's up and he could be looking at Anfield Agenda and go, I want to fuck with the Baldies. And do you know what I mean? So Billy Cometio, congratulations on the new look, young man. Looking sleek, my friend. And if you need any tips on how to shine it up or at him, I'm your boy. I am your boy. Anyway, that's about it from training today. It's good to see Kostas Tsimikas back anyway. That's a bit of good news. Right, let me see in the chat, how is everybody keeping? I've completed all the entries, said Dylan. Nice one, pal. Delighted. Well in. Fair play. Like a general knowledge test, was it? Which was kind of, I don't know what the hell Crosby's talking about, but yeah, general knowledge test. That was the, oh, you're talking about Costas. Yes, it was a general knowledge test. He took part in the how well do you know Craig quiz, Connor, and he didn't get 8 of 8 either, because nobody has except Frank and one or two others. Well played. Look, ladies and gentlemen, loads of transfer talk to get through. I can see from the chat tonight that a lot of people want to know what on earth is going on with young Raheem Brewster. And do you know what? I want to know as well, but we've done some digging and we've got as much information as you can to give to you guys. According to Fourth Official, Sheffield United have agreed a fee with Liverpool for Raheem Brewster. Now, do I believe this? I'm genuinely not sure. I do believe that there is serious interest from Sheffield United and that is most likely going to be where Raheem Brewster plays his football this season. But the big question that we all want to know is this going to be a loan to Chris Wilder's side, or is it going to be the £25 million fee that people have been talking about with a buyback clause inserted? Now, as I say, always read the chat before I start the streams, and I was getting the same vibe from you guys that I'm feeling. It's a bit of a kick in the nuts to Raheem Brewster if the club are saying, oh no, we do have belief in you, pal, but we're still going to flog you because we need to free up a little bit of cash, mate, and you're the easiest way for us to do it. But don't worry, Raheem, we do have belief in you. We'll slip an buyback clause in there, and sure, if you're good enough, we'll buy you back. That doesn't scream support to me. That doesn't scream belief in the young man. That screams of the owners not wanting to put their hand in their pocket to free up a little bit of cash. And I'm not here to kick the owners. I'm not an FSG outer, but I'm going to call it as I see it because I'm a fan. And as a fan, first and foremost, I want what's best for our football club. And I don't think selling Raheem Brewster is what's best for a football club. In fact, I think it's almost embarrassing that we're even having a conversation around selling Raheem Brewster. by all means loan the kid out. But to sell him, it is just not a good look, my friends. And that is, of course, only my take on it. But I'm going to give you some information on what James Pearce had to say in the Raheem BREWSTER situation. He said Liverpool would want in the region of £25 million for BREWSTER with a buyback clause. The club have been inundated with loan requests for the youngster. My information is that Liverpool have yet to make a final decision on whether to keep Raheem BREWSTER as a squad player for the season, loan him out, or sell him. All three options have been discussed. There you go. So, here's where I am on this one. Surely a bank loan or a loan from the owners would be far more palatable and probably cheaper in the long run than selling Raheem BREWSTER with a buyback clause. That just doesn't make any sense to me. But would it help us fund Thiago, for instance? Would it help us fund Patson Daka? I don't know. But the fact that we're in this situation where we are nickel and diming, it's not a great look. But I do believe that there's stuff going on behind the scenes. And I do believe that we're currently going through the most frustrating part of this transfer window. But I do think that there's going to be light on the other side. Trust me, I'm working hard on this to get you as much information as I can. And as always, we do get told a lot of bits and pieces, but you don't know what's real and what isn't real. So I never come on and state anything as fact. But I do have an unholy belief that there is going to be a couple of players added to this Liverpool squad before the season starts. And I think what we're going through now is the club finally starting to maybe move on some of the players, maybe free up some of the cash to get these transfers over the line. There's been a bit of Thiago news today as well, which I'll touch on in a minute. But as always, I'll just dip into the chat for a second, see how we're all feeling. Scotty said, Craig, it's poor from the club if they sell BREWSTER. I agree. Loan him, don't sell him, said Liverpool Double J. I'm with you, man, on that one as well. Grime Warrior said BREWSTER needs game time or play time. He does, absolutely. Again, no disagreement from me whatsoever, mate. And I think a loan will give him that. And a loan to Chris Wilder's team. Chris Wilder, I told you guys about this. You've probably read it as well. He put up a full dossier analysing how exactly they'll progress Raheem BREWSTER, what the plan would be for him, how they'd get him game time. And of course, then you look at the style of play that the Sheffield United play, and it's perfect. It's very similar to the way we go about things. A high pressing game. And Chris Wilder is a very forward-looking coach, so I'd have no issues with Raheem BREWSTER going on loan there. Our transfer dealings this summer have been nothing short, I think you meant to say, of crap. Of terrible, he finished out with Vinny. It's not over yet though, Vinny. I mean, I would agree with you. It's not been great so far, but we're not the only ones struggling. Have a look over at Manchester and you'll see that United fans are pulling their hair out at this moment in time as well. They've gone from looking like Sancho be nailed on to potentially getting the pro golfer that is Gareth Bale on loan for the season. Although even at that, Spurs look like they're going to nick in and rob him, as they did, or look like they're going to do it Reguilon as well from Real Madrid. Albeit, I understand United's stance on that. They just didn't want to have the buyback clause inserted there, but Spurs seem to be happy with it, so I do understand where they're coming from with that one. But it's not just us. There's a lot of frustrated football fans right now. Would you rather Thiago or a 4th choice centre back and a right winger? Oh man, that is it. If I'm looking at our squad right now, I think the two areas that we need to address are a wide forward. I wouldn't say right because it's more than likely going to be cover for Sadio, but let's just go with a wide forward. So I'd be happy to go with the wide forward and a 4th choice centre back. The Thiago thing, it's attractive. We don't actually need him, but when a player of that quality becomes available for the price point that seems to be mentioned, it does seem like, and he wants to come so badly, it does seem like that would be a deal that we should be looking to get done as well. I understand the whole squad size. I understand the foreign player quota, the homegrown player quota. I get all of that stuff, but we should be clever enough to manipulate our way around that and free up the spaces that we need. I'm going to move on now to talk about Patson Daka for a second, because there's a little bit of good news with regard to the Patson Daka front. It's been confirmed by a former coach of his that he's a lifelong Liverpool fan. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to make any difference when it comes to transfer dealings, but I said to you guys the other night that he does have a link to Spurs, with his representative being Freddie Knude. Spurs looking for a striker. Well, maybe Patson Daka has had a little wink and a nod from Liverpool to say, you carry on doing what you're doing at Salzburg there, son. Keep banging them in, and we'll be back in January or next season, and we'll make you a red. Maybe I'm being a bit too optimistic here, but it is always positive when you know that our club is having an impact on even the highest level of footballers around the world, that they're glazing over towards Liverpool, gazing I should say, over towards Liverpool, and wanting to come here because it is a destination club right now, thanks to our manager, thanks to the great squad of players, and again, although I'm probably going to seem a bit harsh on them tonight at times, thanks to our owners. I do get some awful comments, by the way, people calling me an FSG outer and stuff. I couldn't be further from the truth. I am bang smack right in the middle of this debate, I promise you. I can see some great things our owners have done, and I can see some things that I think they should have done differently as well. But this is the part of being a fan that's fun. We're allowed to be critical of certain things. We don't have to be yes men. In fact, it would be quite boring if we were all yes men or yes women. What else we got? Brewster to Stevie. Nah, I'm fed up with this nonsense about just keep on loaning players up to Steven Gerrard because it's handy to do. Look, I'm going to be quite blunt here. Raheem Brewster, in my opinion, is better than the Scottish Premier League. Raheem Brewster does not belong playing in the Scottish Premier League. He is a Premier League in England footballer. That's where I see it. And as much as I love Stevie G, no, to me, to send him up to Rangers, it just seems all wrong. The league's wrong, the style's wrong. It just doesn't fit for me anyway. What else we got? Spurs want Bale. I know, it's hilarious, isn't it? But it would be a loan, and it would be, I think, partly subsidised, around half of his wages maybe being subsidised by Real Madrid if that does take place. Adam Park said selling Brewster is a mistake. I've yet to see many, if any, Liverpool fans make that disagree with you. None of us want to sell Raheem Brewster. Nobody I've seen anyway. A lot of people seem to be very understanding of the potential loan, and that makes sense, but I'd be fuming. Absolutely fuming. How true is it that Bale is to leave Real Madrid and be joined Spurs? He's definitely wanting to leave Real Madrid, and there has been conversation. So apparently the situation was this. Daniel Levy, whichever way you want to pronounce his name, I go with Levy. He went to talk to his counterparts at Real Madrid about Reguilon, the fullback who was on loan at Sevilla. And while they were there, they just happened to throw in about Gareth Bale. They inquired about Bale. And look, Bale, I believe his jersey has been taken out of the Real Madrid club shop, from what I've read. And he's been told in no uncertain terms that he doesn't really have a future there. So is he going to be happy to, train, continue to collect the wage, go and play golf and live in Spain, not playing football, or will he want to try and get a move back to the Premier League to resurrect his career? I'd imagine at 31 years of age, he probably wants to get back playing football because that's what he loves, to be honest. Right, what else we got? I haven't been on this channel for long. I'm glad you're back and better than ever. You were in a bad place, said Rob Miguel. I was, mate. I was in an awful place. But thanks to counselling, thanks to some medication, and most importantly, thanks to the love and support from you guys on here. As you said, buddy, I am back, and we are better than ever, and we're going to be bigger than ever because we've got loads of stuff lined up for you folks. The next 10 days on Anfield agenda are going to be absolutely jam-packed. I've got interviews coming at me backside. I've got loads of news to talk about. We've got games to cover as well. Chelsea on Sunday, the League Cup next Tuesday as well. Stick with us, folks. It's only going to get bigger. This little community of ours is only going one way, and that's up. And we need your support. As you know, hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video. But if I can ask you one favour, and look, it's not very often that I come on here and I ask you guys for much. If you can do me a massive favour, we really need to put a push on the Flick Chat group. And we want to try and get our numbers up there. 1,000 is the target that we have to head towards. It's really important to us that we get this to work because it's going to be a huge part of what we're doing in our post-match stuff moving forward as well. So if you do like the channel, you can do me one little favour. Please do download that Flick Chat app from the link in the description and come in and have a chat with us. And you'll see what it's about. You'll see why we're pushing it. It's class. It's like Discord on steroids. Right, what else have we got? Harry Wilson. Let's have a little chat about Harry Wilson before we move on to the daily Thiago merry-go-round, if you want to call it that, because I do have some Thiago news. I was reading something just before I came on as well. Somebody sent me a message. Right, Harry Wilson. So Leeds were interested in signing Harry Wilson on a permanent deal, but it looks like that interest has been cooled after Bielsa decided that he's not quite the right player for his system. At least that's what was reported in the media today. And as of yet, the club have received no other expressions of interest from anybody for a permanent move at the price that the club are asking, which is believed to be around the £20 million mark for Harry Wilson. And the club have been very strict in this. They've said that some players are just not going to be willing to loan out again. I think I'm talking about Grujic here, Harry Wilson, and maybe a few others. If anybody wants them, it's going to have to be on a permanent basis at or close to the price that the club want. Leeds were the ones interested in Wilson. That seems to have fallen by the wayside, so let's wait and see what happens there. But look, the two big stories of the day are the rumoured interest in Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and the latest developments in the whole Thiago situation. I'll let you guys decide in the chat. Which one do you want first? Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain or Thiago? Whack it into the chat and I'll go with whatever you guys want. But in the meantime, let me read a few more of your comments while we let the chat fill up a bit. Love you, Craig. Good to see you on top form, said Aziz Khan. Right back at you, pal. Lots of love. Give Brewster until January, let him prove himself. If he ain't happy, loan him out, said Poppin Powell 79. Nothing would make me happier, mate, than Brewster staying at the club and getting an opportunity. But I have to be honest and say I can understand the theory behind loaning him out. I've got absolutely no belief or backing of this selling him nonsense. That just doesn't sit well with me. Big up Bobby Firmino, said Mo Dilbar. Love it. Ooh, it's an out and out. I'll tell you what, I thought this was going to be closer, but it's OXLADE-CHAMBERLAIN, folks. Let's have a chat around Alex OXLADE-CHAMBERLAIN. So, look at this. One thing to get this. If only you guys got over to the Flick Chat app and helped us out that quickly, we'd be absolutely flying. Honestly, I do want to ask you for that favour. Please do download the Flick Chat app and go over there and give it a try. Right, let's get on to Alex OXLADE-CHAMBERLAIN then. So, LFC Transfer Room posted something earlier on, and I do love that account, by the way. If you're on Twitter, make sure you go over and check out LFC Transfer Room. They're brilliant. I really do like them. So they posted a tweet earlier on to say that there are rumours that Wolves have made an offer to Liverpool for Alex OXLADE-CHAMBERLAIN. No figure was mentioned, but we did talk about the possibility of this on last night's show, and I have to be honest and say it's a complete coincidence. We did talk about the possibility of Alex OXLADE-CHAMBERLAIN moving on, and it is a coincidence that this story has come up today. I didn't have anything that I was holding back or anything like that, genuinely. And I wanted to have a conversation around the Alex OXLADE-CHAMBERLAIN thing, because let's have a look at our midfield setup as we currently sit. We know we're going to have somebody holding in the six with a pivot, so that's probably going to be Fabinho, Henderson, Fabinho, Wijnaldum, Fabinho, Milner, Fabinho, Keita, whoever it might be. But then we do need that forward-looking player. Now, Alex OXLADE-CHAMBERLAIN can play in behind the front three, or he can play in a wide position himself. I don't think he's best in a wide position, but he is very versatile and can play anywhere. I can understand why Wolves would be interested, if I'm being honest. And I can also understand why Liverpool may flirt with the possibility of selling Alex OXLADE-CHAMBERLAIN. It's no secret that I really like Alex OXLADE-CHAMBERLAIN. I think he's a fantastic player. I think he's excellent around the dressing room and stuff by the looks of it. Always got a smile on his face. Always got something positive to say. How could you not love Alex OXLADE-CHAMBERLAin? But in the cold light of day, if we're being really, really clinical about this, I can understand it. If the right offer came in and it allowed us to go out there and bring in somebody else, I have to say I'd understand it, folks. It's not my first thought. It's not that who I'd want to move on, but we do need to look at freeing up a midfield position if you guys want us to go out there and get Thiago. So I'm wondering, is this interest from Wolves real? Is the bid real? What the price tag is? I'd love to know your thoughts on this, because I know Alex OXLADE-CHAMBERLAin can sometimes divide Liverpool fans, but the main point around this divisive nature of Chamberlain has never been his ability. It's never been the likability of the guy. It's always been around the injury record for Alex OXLADE-CHAMBERLAin. Now, no footballer wants to be injured, so you can never have a pop at a fella for being injured. He wants to play. He's got a short career. But is it time? Is it time that we do start to be more ruthless? Is it time that we remove the Shakiris? Is it time that we maybe look at... I'm not saying we proactively look to sell Alex OXLADE-CHAMBERLAin, but if an offer comes in, like this one is rumoured to have come in from Wolves, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do at this time where money seems to be a genuine problem for us? Carl said, that Flick Chat is awesome. Come and join the fun. Thank you very much, Carl. And it is awesome. It's brilliant. I love it over there. Right, Lewis said, like the guy a lot, but we should let him go. Sarr in, just too many better options in midfield. And I hear you, Lewis. I hear where you're coming from. It is difficult, even with rotation, to think where Alex OXLADE-CHAMBERLAIN's going to get enough game time to perhaps make him happy. Again, this is not a dig at him in any way, shape or form. If Alex OXLADE-CHAMBERLAin stays, I'll be sound. I love Alex OXLADE-CHAMBERLAin. But I'm just trying to look at this through the eyes of this crazy situation that we're in the world right now. Again, I want to know your thoughts on it, because it's all very well and good me giving my 2 cents. This is a community show. What about Neves from Wolves? That's not going to happen anytime soon, mate. Nuno signed a new contract at Wolves. I think a 3-year extension. They're building there, and I think he's quite comfortable, to be honest with you, with the Portuguese contingent that's at Wolves. So I can't imagine he'll be moving anytime soon. What else we got? I would sell him. His value's gone down. Said Sipsco01. Flick Chat app is good. Best app I've used in ages, said Harry Graham. Thank you. I'm so glad you think that, mate, because I wouldn't go on and try and plug something that I think is crap. I genuinely wouldn't do it. This app was brought to us about a month ago. We had a couple of conversations with the people behind the app. We found out where the motivation for the app is, and we found out what the future of the app is. And trust me, this is going to be huge. I think FlickChat, AFTV are on there as well. Loads of people are moving over to it because it is a fantastic platform that allows you to do the things that a football channel wants to do when they're offline. You can conduct polls, you can do quizzes, you can share the latest news stories, interact with other Reds, give your predictions for games that are coming up. And not only give your predictions, you go onto our leaderboard then. There's a point for each one you get right. Currently, I think I'm sitting somewhere like 9th on that leaderboard, which I'm not going to lie, I'm not too upset about that. That's not too bad. Liz said, take the How Well Do You Know Craig quiz on FlickChat. Yeah, please do. I'm genuinely intrigued by this one because I set the questions and some of them are... My wife couldn't even get them all right. I said this to you guys before. Right, we need midfielders. Right, let me move on. Thiago, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to keep you any longer. I'm going to go on to Thiago today. So, Ronan Murphy, who writes for Goal and a few other sites, tweeted this earlier on. Liverpool have made contact with Bayern Munich about Thiago, but think their asking price of €30 million is too high, and that's coming via Sport Bild. Now, The Star also ran a similar story to say that Liverpool had used intermediaries to get in contact with somebody at Bayern Munich to try and suss out the situation for Thiago. So I think we can safely say there is interest here from the club, despite what other people are saying about him not being an active target and stuff. I think there is interest here in Thiago, and I also think that maybe now with the situation over at Manchester United getting as bad as it's getting, they could perhaps look to Thiago as a reasonably priced alternative to maybe keep their fans happy in a window that looks like it's rather frustrating for those guys as well. So I think the Thiago situation, we're waiting to try and move players on. I genuinely don't think the club are trying to piss off Bayern Munich in any way, shape or form. There's been a lot of talk about disrespect and stuff like that, mainly coming out of the Bayern Munich side of things. We've seen Uli Hoeneß talk about this as well. He said that he thinks Liverpool are almost blackmailing. He said Liverpool and United actually are almost blackmailing Bayern Munich, and we're going to wait till the last week of the window and put in a really low offer. I don't know about the really low offer part, but it does look like Liverpool are waiting for the end of the window. Now, we're seeing loads of different bits and pieces on this. We've seen things from Varsky Sports saying that Liverpool went in and offered €30 million, and we're told no, the price is now €35 million, which I'm not really sure that makes any sense, to be honest, particularly because, there's not much in the difference there. So it is intriguing. I do think the interest in Thiago is there, but I'm still struggling to see how we free up enough space to get Thiago in if we don't entertain moving somebody on. The one that we all thought it was going to be was, of course, Gini Wijnaldum, and Gini Wijnaldum looks almost certain at this point to agree a contract extension with Liverpool after positive talks with Jurgen Klopp after his international duty, which is great news. I mean, again, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, he's a great addition to our squad and somebody we love, but Gini is Mr. Consistency. So maybe the club are looking elsewhere. Maybe the club are willing to listen to offers for other players who they think are on the fringes of being able to make an impact. I don't know. This is why we have these conversations, but I don't believe for 1 minute there's no interest in Thiago. I just don't believe it. There's just too much stuff for there to be no interest. And even the James Pearces of this world won't flat out say there's no interest. He's saying that, and rightly so, Liverpool probably need to move a midfielder or two on to clear space there for Thiago, and of course to help free up funds as well. I don't know if I believe this getting in contact stuff though. It just seems a little bit unnecessary. I mean, Michael Edwards doesn't seem like the type of fella that goes backwards to come forwards, if you know what I mean. He looks like somebody who'd do this himself rather than going through intermediaries. It's weird for me. I don't know. This one is going to drag on though, folks. So we're going to have these daily Thiago talks, I'm afraid, until this one is completely finished. And how it ends, that much I can't say. That much I don't know for certain. It is frustrating though. We see a world-class player there, and he is world-class. We see a world-class player there, not just saying, come get me, basically almost begging for Liverpool to come in and get the deal sorted out so we can become a Liverpool player. He turned down the contract renewal at Bayern Munich. They offered him the terms that he'd asked for, but again, as I said to you last night, his head was clearly turned by Liverpool, and I don't see Jurgen Klopp as somebody who wants to leave a fella like Thiago just sitting high and dry. If Kloppo has gone about his business and said that he wants to get Thiago in, and had conversations with his representative, and you've seen all the stuff about a contract being agreed, wages being no problem, agents' fees being no problem, it all seems to just come down to this 30 million that Bayern want, and the space in midfield, of course, as well. Love this channel, such a good community. Keep it up. All the love, said Kenzie Wright. Again, thank you so much, buddy. To hear all this positive feedback and stuff, and love to come back from you guys and to each other in the chat. It makes it all worthwhile. How confident are you that we get Thiago, said Curry. Probably a little bit more confident than I was yesterday, but not balls out confident. I mean, I'm talking about, I'd be hedging my bets here, 55-45 in the favour of getting them, but like very slightly. It really is on a knife edge, folks. I really think this transfer for Thiago's on a knife edge. And my big worry is that somebody else comes in, and what happens with Werner happens all over again. Yes, Werner wanted to come to Liverpool. Yes, he'd agreed stuff with Klopp. But he didn't want to wait any longer because there was pressure coming on. Last summer, you remember with Werner as well, the whole stuff around his move to Bayern Munich, that didn't materialise. Liverpool's interest has been there for a long time. He got fed up waiting around. Klopp wasn't getting the money from the board. Frank Lampard went in, got Timo Werner, he's now a Chelsea player. I'd be very upset if the same thing happened with Thiago and Manchester United, or somebody came in and nicked them. Because they're not just stopping us from getting the player then, or we're not stopping ourselves from getting the player. We're strengthening a rival. A rival that we don't want to be strengthening. We really don't want Manchester. Now, I'm not saying we do what I believe United did with Alexis Sanchez, and I still to this day believe that Manchester United signed him just to stop Manchester City getting him, because they seem to have no plan of what to do with him when he got there. And I don't want that to happen over Thiago, because we genuinely do have a plan for Thiago, and you can see what Thiago could do and where he'd fit into this Liverpool midfield. It's frustrating as hell. I'm not going to say anything else, but I don't know what's going to happen. I really do not know. Craig, do you ever get tired of being a legend? Mate, I am. This is the funniest thing. I was only saying this to my wife before we started. I'm the most down-to-earth, normal fella you'll ever meet. This whole, I'll never have a big head. It's just not me. It's not the way I go about things. I'm just a normal dude that's lucky enough to come on here and chat to you guys every night. There's no airs and graces. I don't have a big head. I don't think my shit doesn't stink. I'm just really lucky. I don't know why the channel's grown to this size, but I really do appreciate every single one of you guys. Keep the date in the calendar, folks. The draw for the Champions League, 6 o'clock on Thursday, 1st of October. Liverpool will be in pot 1. Thank you very much for that one, Mark. Always appreciate the updates. Joanne said Thiago hasn't been settled either way, so we'll be talking about it until probably forever, basically, Joanne, until the window closes anyway. What have we got? Tyler said if we can sell Wilson, Shaqiri, Grujic for about 60 mil and Thiago and Daka is a good window. It would be. I honestly don't see Daka going anywhere in this window. I really don't. I think that he's going to be there till at least January. Even his agent has been quoted as saying that the plan is for him to stay there until at least January. So that frees up some time for Liverpool, if nothing else. I mean, it gives us time to monitor how Raheem Brewster might get on at Sheffield United, and to sit back and see how Patson Daka gets on at Salzburg. And he's got a very good coach there in Jesse Marsh, who plays a similar style of football as well to we do. And it's, you know, we've also got that good working relationship there with Salzburg. We've played them in the friendlies, obviously. We played them in the Champions League. We took Takumi Minamino from them on very good terms. So there seems to be a lot of mutual respect there. So I would say it would be fairly straightforward if Liverpool wanted to go in the future and do a deal for Patson Daka with Salzburg, which is great news. Genie is staying. I've resigned myself to Thiago not signing, said Elijah John 5. Well, look, the Genie part is happening. You're right, he is going to stay. I mean, it would be an absolute shock to us all now if that changed and he ended up at Barcelona. What's the Twitter account? Some people are asking. Sorry. Both our social media accounts, i.e. Instagram and Twitter, are just at Anfield Agenda. Really simple, just our name. John Hamilton's in the house as well. John, how are you, buddy? Carl said, Craig, you sound super pumped tonight. Great to see. It just dawned on me earlier on quite how lucky I am, mate. I had one of those days where I was really busy. I was sitting back. I was getting ready for the stream. Believe it or not, to do this stream takes me about 3.5, 4 hours worth of prep work. And I know it probably doesn't seem like that because I just come on and yabber on for an hour or so. But I'm really pumped because I get to do what I love every day. Now, it's not a job, of course. I do this. We're not at the point where this is a business, but I'm so fucking lucky. I'm so lucky to be able to come on here and do what I do and have the audience that I have to share these moments with. And that's why I'm pumped today, mate. I just had one of those days where I took stock of everything. Yeah, it's great. I love it. You see me go through a whole range of emotions on this channel. You'll see me be happy, you'll see me be sad, but you'll never not see me be appreciative of what we have here in our little community, because this whole thing, this Anfield agenda bubble, this means the world to me, and I can't tell you how proud I am of where we're going. Right, what else have we got? Think Liverpool have scrapped Thiago and are saving for Sarr. Well, look, the Sarr thing, I think he is the wide forward, by the way. Again, not factual, not saying I've any inside information, but I do think Sarr's the forward that we're looking at. It's been very quiet from Watford's side around Sarr. It's a deal that looks like it's fairly straightforward to get done. He's not going to want to go play in the Championship. He's better than that. He's got the good relationship as well with Sadio Mane. Obviously, both Senegalese international teammates, and Sadio Mane is like a big brother to Sarr as well. So, if I was betting, that would be the wide forward that I would be looking at, yes. And I do think by the end of this window, we will have the centre back and the wide forward that has been spoken about. That much I'm confident of. But the question is the Thiago situation. That's the one that none of us can give you a definitive answer for. I mean, people can come onto the channels and lie to you. They can come in and tell you that he's going to sign or he's not going to sign, but they would be lying to you because nobody knows. And that is the truth of the matter. Nobody knows. Get in, Craig. We love you, said Cameron. Man, honestly, look, I can't say enough of it. I just can't say thank you enough. Yeah, when we started this little channel of ours, we thought if we ever got to 5,000 subscribers, that would be amazing. No idea that 2 years later, over 2 years later, we'd be heading to 50k. It's mad. It's mad. And the perception of me out there from some people is that I'm some horrible, angry, bad language using, shout people down asshole. But if people took the time to get to know me, you'd see what you guys see. I'm just a normal dude. I'm waiting for Genie to be like a new signing talk, said Dara. No, you're not getting that from me anyway, Dara May. He won't be like a new signing. He's Genie. He's Mr. Reliable. He's Mr. Consistency. The new signing part would be the maybe Naby and Takumi Minamino. They'd be the ones I'd be saying are perhaps like a new signing. Fahim said, I don't want Sarr at Liverpool, I want Thiago. I hear you, but it's, you know, two different styles of players in two different positions, mate. And if we're all being bluntly honest here, we don't actually need a Thiago. Now, we'd like one, but we are stocked in midfield. We've no pressure on the front three, so we do need to go out and get a wide forward. But look, we'd all love Thiago. Of course we would. There's no denying that. What did we get? Again, just one more favour, folks, if you can, please do go and download that Flick Chat app. And also, again, if you came a little bit late, we're running a competition. As you can see there on the screen right now, we are giving away a 16-inch by 12-inch signed Kenny Dalglish poster. The poster has everything that Kenny Dalglish has won on it, the full attributes of his career. It is coming with a certificate of authenticity as well. We're giving it away in a number of ways, really. You can get lots of different entries. Subscribe to us on YouTube. I'm sure you've done that already. That's one entry. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. Join our Flick Chat group. That automatically gets you an entry as well. And retweet the pinned tweet over in the Anfield Agenda Twitter account. And just a heads up, we're giving this away on Sunday after the Chelsea game. So again, we're just trying to give a little bit back and say thank you for your support. Don't mind the begrudgers, you're a legend, said Alan O'Brien. Thank you, pal. I'm just a regular dude, like I keep saying. He's just a normal dude that likes the odd diet chav. Never change, Craig. Definitely sums me up there, mate. I mean, yes. You're a gorgeous Irish, Craig, said Neil H. Mate, I'll tell you what. I'm feeling the love. I'm feeling the love, ladies and gents. If Liverpool beat Chelsea on Sunday, I'm willing to shave my hair bald, said Victor. I want proof, Victor. Come on, I'm calling you on it, buddy. Are you going to join me and Billy Cometio in the Baldies Club? John, we've got Graham Hunter in there as well, Pep Guardiola. All we need now is for Kloppo to get out the old razor and give himself a blade one all over, and then we'll have Baldies everywhere. But I'm calling you out on it, buddy. I want to see pictures if we beat Chelsea, which, you know what, I'm confident we will on Sunday. That Chelsea that took the field against Brighton, they don't scare me. They shouldn't scare this Liverpool team. Kai Havertz is already given a Billy Big Bollocks in the media, and he was invisible against Brighton. Werner had a bit of a better impact there, but you know, I'm fancying us at the Bridge on Sunday, folks. I'm not lying to you. I really fancy us to go there and get a win. I think we should sign Cantwell. He'd be cheap, said Danny. I'm a fan of Todd Cantwell, Danny. And I do think you're right. I think that he has tremendous potential under Jurgen Klopp. If we didn't have Curtis Jones, I'd be saying to you, bring him in as a Lallana replacement. I kind of get that vibe from Todd Cantwell. Again, Norwich going down. The price tag has been set by Norwich. We aren't probably on great terms with Norwich after the Jamal Lewis situation, but I do agree. I think he'd be a tidy piece of business for somebody, and Norwich do have a history of producing some good young talent, obviously. Dairy Milk or Mars? How dare you? How dare you? Who the fuck is going to answer Mars, man? Come on. Dairy Milk all the way. Whoop, whoop. No one's going to answer Mars. Mars are those things that are left in the end of the tub of celebrations or are left in the selection box, mate. Nobody likes Mars. Let's be honest about it. The best thing that Mars make are minstrels. Other than that, I don't fuck with Mars chocolate. It's not for me. In my opinion, Leeds look stronger than Chelsea at the moment at the Liverpool Double J. Leeds are a good side. I don't think they're going to be up there at the top of the table, to be honest with you, but they're going to give teams a lot of problems this season. Right, more stuff to go through, ladies and gentlemen. What have we got here? The Gaffer. The Gaffer got us all a little bit excited, didn't he? If we're being honest with ourselves here, the Gaffer yesterday said a little something that made us all stand up and go, oh, hello. What was that, Mr. Klopp? Perhaps you'll stay past 2024. Is that what we're hearing? Yes, the Gaffer did get us all very excited with his recent comments about the possibility of extending his Liverpool deal past 2024. Here's what the Gaffer had to say. I've got 4 years left, which feels like an eternity in football. A lot can happen during this time. I would assume that in 4 years I would think about whether to renew or not. If I don't renew, I'll go on holiday. When I leave Liverpool, I won't take a new job the next day. That's for sure. I will take a 1 year break after Liverpool. That's nice. Not going to lie, that makes me smile. Because I had thought that was it. I had thought 2024, no matter come rain or shine, Jurgen Klopp is going to be leaving Liverpool. So even just to think that there's a glimmer of the Gaffer staying on for longer than that. And he is right. 4 years is a very long time in football. That gives him plenty more time to fill up that Anfield trophy room and really put us back up onto our perch. Even maybe go past Manchester United's 20, you never know. But it is great to hear those words from the Gaffer. I know people are going to say he said similar when he was leaving Borussia Dortmund, but Liverpool to Kloppo was a massive thing. The offer to come to the club that's tailor-made for him was a massive thing, and I genuinely don't believe that there will be any other club that would have lured Jurgen Klopp, out of that break after Dortmund other than Liverpool. Even his son was saying to him, Dad, I went over to Anfield. It's something special. And look, we've got the guy, best manager in the world. Wouldn't change him for anybody. Absolutely love the big crazy German to bits. And the news that he may renew his contract after 2024, it's class. It is class. Any news on Brewster? I touched on it at the start of the stream, Jake, but I'm happy to go back over you. So here's where we are with Raheem. Back over you. I'm definitely not going back over you, pal. I'm going back over it, sorry. Right, so Fourth Official have said, I don't even know who Fourth Official are, by the way. I don't know how reputable they are. I don't know how big of a site they are. I know nothing about them, other than that they have said that Liverpool and Sheffield United have agreed a fee for Raheem Brewster, which is rumoured to be around 25 million quid with a buyback clause. But James Pearce spoke about Raheem Brewster, and here's what James Pearce had to say. Liverpool would want in the region of 25 million for Brewster with a buyback clause. The club have been inundated with loan requests for the youngster. Now, that word there, inundated, that James Pearce used, kind of tells you about the calibre of the lad that we have on our hands. He is our player at the moment. He wants to play for Liverpool, and you've got clubs kicking down Jurgen Klopp's door interested in taking the guy. They're doing that for a reason, because he is a hot prospect. My information, again, sorry, this is going back to James Pearce here. My information is that Liverpool have yet to make a final decision on whether to keep Raheem Brewster as a squad player this season, loan him out, or sell him. All three options have been discussed. That's where we are on Raheem Brewster. I'm hoping beyond hope that it's going to be a loan move. There was talk about Chris Wilder looking at a young Arsenal forward as well that he wanted to bring in on loan, and that could have been the player that he was talking about the loan move for when he spoke the other day about being close to bringing in somebody. But the interest is solid from Sheffield United. In fact, I'm almost getting to the point where I'm 75-25 that he's going to Sheffield United. The only question remains, is it going to be a loan, or is it going to be a permanent deal with a buyback clause? Basically a glorified potential loan. And I don't like that part of it. I think just loan the dude out. Brewster's in my FPL. I hope he gets loaned. I'm not going to lie, Tyler. I pretty much pulled the same stunt, mate. Thinking, yeah, that could be my fourth player. Do you know what I mean? From Liverpool. So, yeah, I'm sitting the same, mate. Wondering if he is going to get a move. Should keep Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Gives us goals from midfield. He does give us something a little bit different from midfield, alright. And I suppose I'm kind of contradicting what I was saying earlier on to an extent. But I do think he's a player we could live without if needs be, if this is a window where we have to free up funds. Now, I'm not championing the fact that we should go out there and sell Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, but we did touch on earlier on that LFC Transfer Room put out something to suggest that Wolves might have an interest in taking Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain on a permanent basis. I've yet to see that really reported mainstream, and I've yet to see, again, nothing but the height of respect for LFC Transfer Room. It's my go-to. I love this. I love the page on Twitter. But yeah, I've yet to see any other concrete information on this about a fee or anything. But I've yet to see it be really rebuffed either, to be fair. Genuinely thoughts on Oxlade-Chamberlain. I've just gone through them, Rome. But then again, you probably wrote that, mate, before I gave my thoughts, to be fair. Right, some more stuff. There is loads for us to get through tonight. It keeps coming fast. So I've got some information around the kits that I want to talk about in a couple of minutes. Yeah, it's going to be probably a 5-minute spiel of me talking, so I'm going to leave it for the time being. But there's a little bit of good news as well for Neco Williams. I want to say congratulations to him because he has made the 40-person shortlist for the highly regarded Golden Boy Award. So congratulations to Neco Williams on making the 40-man shortlist, because the Golden Boy Award is a very prestigious award given to the best young player. And to be even mentioned, to be in there, it just goes to show you how well Neco Williams has progressed so far. So congratulations to him on making the final 40 for that award. What else we got? Craig, you share the Fantasy League code. I don't have a league, Stephen. We didn't set up an Anfield Agenda League. In fact, I'm not even in any leagues this year other than the main FPL league. I haven't even joined one yet. I didn't set up my team until after the first week had started, so I'm already playing catch up. What is this? Sar or Daka, said Craig Challoner. It's a tough one, that, mate, because there are attributes of both that would give us extra productivity. I would suggest that Sar is far more likely in this window, and Daka is one, as I said earlier on, that we're probably going to look to down the line. Maybe January, maybe a little bit longer, but we're definitely keeping an eye on him. But I would suggest that Sarr is the deal that would be more likely to get done in this window. But again, just my personal opinion. Congratulations to Neco. Thank you for representing Liverpool. Again, love to see you guys backing our players like that. You should fire Klopp and bring Mourinho. Klopp is finished. He'll finish 5th this season. That's it, John. That's it. The best manager in the world is finished, mate. The manager who took us from basically also rans into becoming world, European and English champions, mate. You just keep smoking whatever the fuck you're smoking, mate. And we'll carry on over here in reality, if that's alright. I mean, you know, where we have the best manager in the world. But, you know, I guarantee you one thing. All those trolling little clowns out there that think that Klopp will finish and we're finishing 5th, I bet you not one of you fuckers would put your money where your mouth is, because you all know you're talking absolute codswallop and that Klopp ain't going anywhere and Liverpool ain't going anywhere, especially outside that top 4. We're going to be fighting for that title again this season. Make no bones about that, folks. Right, again, I know you're getting bored of me saying this, but if you want to support the channel, you want to help us out, I'm asking you for a massive favour. Please do download the Flick Chat and come over and give it a go. We need to get that group up to 1,000 for productivity purposes and something else that I can't really tell you guys about, but we do want your support on there. If you haven't tried out the app, it is perfect. It's a great place to talk to people offline. It is free. It's free. It's safe if you've got kids. There's no ads on there. We monitor the chat as well. We've got moderators on there to make sure that everything is above board and nobody's getting bullied or trolled or anything like that. It would really help us out, folks, if you could download that app. Every night when we finish the streams, the first thing I do is go and check the Flick Chat app to see if we've got more people over, because we're just under 500 at the minute. We really need to try and get that to 1,000 ASAP. So your help would be grateful on that one if you could just download the app there with the link in the description. Right, let's move on to talk about the kit, because there's been a bit of news floating around today and I don't know if you've seen it or not. And we've all wondered about the Nike deal. We've wondered about the 30 million quid and the 20% of all merchandise that's sold. Well, here's some facts for you guys that have been released today. Liverpool have been overtaken by Arsenal as the most popular kit in England. In fact, we're now in 3rd place behind Chelsea. Yes, behind Chelsea. The Echo reported that sales of the home shirt are down 12% on this time last year, and the goalkeeper shirt is down 30%. Now, it is fair to say that New Balance did a great job, and we had 2 record-breaking years for home shirt sales. But the fact that we're down 12% this year on the home shirt sales, and we're down 30% on the goalkeeper shirt sales, there are a couple of obvious reasons for that. Well, at least I think they're obvious anyway. Have you ever considered, firstly, that fans are being fleeced with the price of the new shirts? £70 for the stadium version and £100 for the Vapor Max or Vapor version, whatever the hell they call it. The player version is what I'll call it. Seems absolutely scandalous. Now, this isn't Nike having a go at Liverpool. That's the price of Nike shirts. That's the price of the Vapor shirt. That's the price of the stadium shirt. But for Liverpool fans, we were paying 55, 60 quid for the shirts, the New Balance shirts. And now in a time of economic hardship, recession, and parents really struggling to get their kids and themselves kitted out for the season ahead, the fact that the shirts are £70 and £100 probably does contribute to Liverpool fans not buying as many of them. And I can understand that. I really can. I like the new shirt. I think the home shirt's quite smart. It doesn't live up to some of the New Balance ones, if I'm being honest with you. And the fact that it's pretty much a copy and paste shirt doesn't fool Liverpool fans either. But the reason the goalkeeper shirt is down 30% should be very simple. This season's one has not got a patch on last season's one. Last season's Liverpool goalkeeper shirt is one of the greatest goalkeeper shirts I've ever seen. It is feckin' stunning. It was beautiful. It sold out immediately. And that's the reason why there. But the sales of our third kit are down 57%, ladies and gentlemen. 57%. Now, to me, that's because it's nowhere near as attractive as in previous years. It could also be to do with the timing of the shirt going on sale as well. But I don't like the third shirt. It's not my cup of tea. But interestingly enough, the shirt that has divided Liverpool fans more than any other, the away shirt, that is up 34% on this time last year. How crazy is that? Now, I love the away shirt. I think one of the reasons why it is actually selling so well is because it isn't a copy and paste shirt. It is rather unique to Liverpool. It isn't like the home jersey and the away jersey, in which we could point to examples of other clubs and other nationalities that have similar shirts. The away shirt is unique, and that is why Liverpool fans like it so much. And I hope that Nike pay attention to this, and I hope that they continue to understand that we are a little bit different. We don't want copy and paste shirts. But to me, the price, it's not that Nike are having a go at us. It definitely isn't that, because that's the price of their shirts. We knew that there was going to be a bit of an increase. But when you have a kid, and let's say you've got a 13-year-old kid, and he's got the stadium shirt, and his mate has the player's version, the Vapor shirt, with the little differences in it. There's a slight difference in the colour, I think. Obviously, it's got the pattern on it as well. The badge is made of a rubbery material. You know where I'm going with this. You know what's going to happen. And it shouldn't be happening, and I don't like it. I don't like the way we've gone modern day with football. It just hurts me that people are being priced out of basics like buying a jersey to support their team. And then they wonder, you wonder, some people are going off then and buying fake shirts. And again, the club doesn't want people doing that, but people can only do what they can afford. And this just isn't affordable anymore to a lot of people, particularly in the times that we're in. That's kind of where I am with the kits, ladies and gentlemen, and they're the facts of where we are with the kit sales so far this year. So the people who are talking about the Nike money and asking where it all is, sales are down. Sales are down everywhere apart from the away shirt, so that's kind of where we are. And I'd love to know your take on the jerseys, by the way. Have you bought one? Do you have kids? Have you had to buy them for the kids? Where have you gotten them from? How much did it cost? Because I bought myself and my little dude the home one. I bought the home shirt for myself, and my little dude got the whole kit because he's still young enough that he can, get the whole kit as one package. But even at that, it's quite expensive. I think I got it was about €100 for my one. Now, I did get the World Club Cup badge, and I got the European badges, but I just got the basic away shirt from the Nike website, and that cost me €90 just for the shirt. Not the Vapor one, the stadium version. No badges, no names, no numbers. It's expensive. It's expensive to be a football fan now, and I just wish, even for the kids ones, that Nike and people around the world would just stop with some of the greed and just make it a bit more affordable for families out there that are struggling during this really difficult period. What have we got? We'll be wearing the retro shirts for now, said Raheem, which is a great option, by the way. I love the retro shirts, and the club sell them as well. There's loads of 3 retro, score, draw, all make great retro shirts, so very good shout that. Dave said he likes the away kit as well. I love it, man. Absolutely love it. My wife calls it a blouse. She doesn't like it, but I love it. Dominic, thank you for the super chat, mate. Said Nike are tone deaf making a shirt so expensive during the current economic circumstances due to the pandemic. He's gone for DHgate. Look, I'll be honest with you. Have I used that site before? Yes. Not for any of my shirts, but I've used it. Nike are pissing me off. Just makes it cheaper. I can afford them, but I can't bear seeing kids begging their furloughed mums or dads. It's tough. I'm here with you. Sorry. And as I always say, I will give you my honest opinion on this channel. I'm not here to blow smoke up Liverpool Football Club's arse. I'm a fan that wants the best for the club, the best for its supporters. Because without supporters, the clubs are nothing. Now, Liverpool over the years generally have been excellent about stuff like this. They do care about their fans, but we are getting to a point now where football is big business. But you know, I remember back in the late 80s, early 90s, they used to change the home kits and the away kits alternatively every second year. So you'd always get 2 years out of a home shirt, 2 years out of an away shirt, and they had it staggered. So each year they brought out one new shirt, and that was sound. Then we had the introduction of the third shirt. Then we had the introduction of the training kits. It's getting crazy. I even seen them try to sell a pair of runners under the Liverpool banner on the website for €165. A pair of Air Max, I think it was, that had nothing to do with Liverpool. I mean, they were just a jacked up price for a pair of runners that had fuck all to do with Liverpool. What if I'll buy the home and away kits next month for my birthday, said Yusuf. I would want a kit to save for a new Xbox. Again, I hear you. Everybody that's out there right now, whether you've got young kids or you're just trying to save up for the shirt yourself, I feel you. I genuinely do get where you're coming from. Nike decides to make it more expensive when people can least afford it. That's the business. That's where we are. I mean, we want to play with the big boys. We want to be up there with the behemoths of this world. When you become a Nike partner or an Adidas partner, that's kind of where you are. You do get a lot of benefits from it. The club becomes a more attractive proposition for some players. Obviously, Nike can open doors for you to markets like China, for instance, and probably open doors to potential players as well because of the relationships that they have. But from a fan's point of view, it's not all an upside. The share prices have gone up. And I'm in a position where I can get the shirt. I'm okay. But I can only get my dude one shirt this season. And that's alright. I mean, he's got one shirt. He should be happy with that. And he is happy with that, to be fair. But it's a difficult time for a lot of people around the world. Get Thiago in, as simple as that, said Ben. It's not really that simple though, Ben, is it, mate? What if you said? John said, Paul from Redmen did a rant about the price comparison between the fake shirts and the real ones. I haven't seen the video, but Paul always speaks a lot of sense, to be fair. So, yeah, I'd imagine that Paul, like he always does, would have researched it well and gave a very good account of what he was saying. Yeah, nothing but respect there for Paul Machin. How could I not? He's great at what he does. The yellow goalkeeper's kit is not bad, said Chanzo. No, it's not, but it isn't a patch on last year's black and gold one, even though I suppose the yellow one is the away one, isn't it? So the green one would be the comparison, I suppose. Remember Warrior. Yes, same company as New Balance. For those of you that weren't aware, they're the same Boston-based company. Warrior Football was a subsidiary of New Balance. They're the parent company. Philip said, I'm from the US and I chuckle every time Craig says... I don't know which one you're chuckling at. I'm guessing it's Nike, because it's probably supposed to be Nike, but I go between the two. Same with Adidas and Adidas. It's weird. What have we got? We've been behaving like a League 1-2 team. Waiting to get deals done is seriously a stupid idea. I mean, outside of Chelsea, maybe Leeds, there isn't a whole lot of superstar business being done in this window. Villa have actually spent a few quid. They've got Grealish tied down to a new deal. They've got in Ollie Watkins and a couple of other players as well. Leeds have come up and spent money. Spurs look like they're getting some players in, to be fair. Chelsea, Everton, United have got in Donny van de Beek. Actually, I can see where you're starting to come from. It is frustrating, but I still believe we'll get the players in by the end of the window. But if we don't, I promise you, I will be on here giving my honest opinion as always. Any news about Thiago? I've went through it earlier on in the stream, Jake, but I'll give you a little heads up before we finish up. Right, so here's where we are on Thiago for those of you tuning in a little bit late. Ronan Murphy, who writes for Goal and a few other websites, has tweeted this earlier on. Liverpool have made contact with Bayern Munich about Thiago, but their asking price of €30 million was too high, according to Sport Bild. James Pearce still believes the only way we get Thiago in is by freeing up space in midfield. Look, you're going to hear the same stuff from loads of different places. Loads of want there, loads of goodwill from Thiago and Liverpool, but it all boils down to us going to Bayern Munich and ponying up the dough. If we don't do that, the deal's dead in the water. So it just remains to be seen how many fringe players or players that Jurgen Klopp deems are available for sale that the club can move on, and how much cash we can free up. Along with obviously midfield places and player quotas for homegrown and stuff like that. That all has to be taken into consideration. So yeah, it's going to be a frustrating time between now and October the 5th, folks, but what we do is take it one day at a time and see how things go. And look, just make sure that, you know, we're not turning on each other as fans, because it is frustrating, but we're in this together. Don't ever forget that. As fans, we're in this together. New to the site, loving it, great show, said Lee Morgan. Thank you, Lee. Pleasure to have you with us, pal. I hope you've hit the subscribe button. And anybody else that's with us for the first time, please do hit the subscribe button. As you can see, we've gone past 45k. Next up is 50k. And then after that, it's 100k. And that YouTube Play Award for Mr. Connor Crosby. You're saying United can't spend. They bought Donny van de Beek. When did I say United can't spend, Benjamin? I mean, would you like to point me to the point in the stream where I said United can't spend? I said their fans are frustrated at the moment, and I just said that they signed Donny van de Beek. I don't like people putting words in my mouth. It's one of the things that winds me up the most, to be honest with you. I often see it in the comments after streams, people accusing me of stuff that I've never frankly said, and generally what happens there is they've read the title of the stream, or they've looked at the thumbnail and they've had a pop without watching. Anyone that watches know that I try to give a fair account on both sides, because, you know, I've got no vested interest other than I'm a Liverpool fan and I want the best for the fans and the club. Could you see Mbappe at Liverpool next season? No. I mean, I could see where we'd want them. I could see as fans how we'd want them, but I can't see how we'd pay his wages, mate. I could say we could probably get around the transfer fee in the long term, with amortization and the cost of his transfer fee spread over 4 or 5 years. I could probably see how we could afford that, but never his wages. Never. Road to 100k, said Liverpool JJ. Thank you, man. It is. It's a long road, but, you know, it's going to be worth it when we get there. We'll be back with... I might take tomorrow off, by the way, so... probably going to... fuck it, you know what? I'll stay on a few minutes longer tonight. Who's having fun? Who wants to keep going and have a little chat for a bit longer? I'm in flying form tonight, and when I'm in these type of good moods, I like to capitalise on it and chat with you wonderful people. So, yeah, fuck it, let's keep going. I mean, I've cursed more tonight than I have in the past 2 weeks, but, you know, I'm in a good mood when the bad language comes out, which is what people often misinterpret with me. I use bad language in an expressive, happy way. Right, let's keep going anyway, even if I'm here on my own. Who's staying with me? Give me a hell yeah if you're staying with me, ladies and gentlemen, for the last 15 minutes. Do you agree with the statement that foreign fans are glory hunters? Well, I'm a fucking foreign fan, mate, and I promise you, I ain't a glory hunter. No. Are there some newbies that come in to support the club? Yeah, of course there are. But that happens with all sports, and it happens when you become successful. It's one of the happy sides of being, I suppose, champions. And people have to fall in love with the club sometime. So I don't ever judge anybody. If you found Liverpool and fell in love with them last week or 50 years ago, I don't care. Welcome. Great to have you with us. We shouldn't be dividing each other. We should be welcoming people with open arms to the family and showing them what it's like to be a Liverpool fan, and the reason why we're all here being Liverpool fans, because we love each other, we look out for each other, and this club means something a little bit different. So yeah, whether you're a fan a week or 10 years or 20 years, welcome. Great to have you. So no, I don't agree with the statement, but like anything else, I mean, there are people, let's use UFC as an example. There are a load of people who are hardcore UFC fans, and then there are people like me who are blow-ins, who come in and enjoy UFC. Now, I'm a massive boxing fan. Everybody that watches the stream knows that. But I watch UFC, so I suppose I'd be what they would deem a glory hunter. I would come in on the back of the McGregor wave and watch UFC. But yeah, I don't like this people turning on each other shit, or people feeling like they're a super fan and they have it over other people and all that stuff. I like to think that I know a lot about this sport. I've been involved in it my entire life. I like to think I know the game. But every so often then I'll come across somebody and I'll see something from an actual highly qualified coach and I'll think, shit, I don't know this game as much as I thought I did. But everybody has to learn along the way, and we should be sharing this information and knowledge rather than turning on each other and fighting. As long as the new fans stick through the tough times, I'm fine with it, said Michael Garner. And we've all been through some of them, mate. Those of us that have been around since the early 90s have been through some difficult times, alright. Some lean times, the Roy Hodgson era. Oh, I'm shaking even thinking about it. I don't know what the WAP dance is. I'm 39 years of age. I don't know what the WAP dance is. A lot of hate in the world in general. Oh man, you're so spot on. Don't understand why. There's just too much hate. We're all being turned on each other. We're being bombarded with news. We're being filled full of fear. And we're being told that if you're not in this box, then you're against this box. And do you know what I mean? My view on this is, if we can just come together and have a conversation, usually we'll figure shit out. Do you know what I mean? It's when you don't know people, and you don't open up, and you don't get to know someone, that you have that fear. The more you sit down, the more you chat to people, the less we'll have this fear. So, sorry, bit of a rant there for a while. Eddie said, it's 4:30 a.m. here. Love it every night you're on. Thank you, Eddie. I'm a man like yourself, mate. I'm always up really late as well. It's usually about 4 or 5 when I go to bed in the morning. Faye said, it's 2 a.m. here. LFC for life. Love it. WFM's all over the shop, folks. If you're new to the stream and you don't know what WFM is, you soon will, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget as well, if you want to become a member of Anfield Agenda FC, all you have to do is click that join button. Membership is $4.99 a month. Like every other YouTube channel, there are a few perks involved. We've got the custom emojis that Connor designed for the channel. You've also got the Anfield Agenda logo beside your name, and that logo changes the longer you're with us. You also get access to the exclusive Anfield Agenda Discord group, which is where we give you guys a heads up about what's going to happen before anybody else. We get your feedback and your thoughts on how you'd like the channel to be shaped. And a bit of good news on Flick Chat as well. There is now an Anfield Agenda emoji on Flick Chat, so you can cheer with the Anfield Agenda emoji on there and let people know what's up. So again, another reason to give Flick Chat a go. Tell me, what's this? That's not even a correct sentence, mate. The Thiago transfer near to end positive. I don't know how it landed. Mate. I'm not going to lie to you. Salah is important to us, absolutely, Jake. And you've seen from the start of the season, mate, Salah looks like a man that wants to prove people wrong. A man that feels like he should have been in the Premier League team of the season. A man that feels like he should have been nominated for the player of the season. And he got himself a hat-trick on the opening day. So yes, Salah does look like a man possessed. What have we got? Somebody said, I was a Glory Hunter fan, fell in love with Liverpool after Istanbul, big fan all the way from Houston, Texas. You are global, keep up the great work. It is no secret, Flavio Bonavides, I think is how I pronounce that, that your beautiful state of Texas is somewhere that I want to visit. There are 3 places I hope to live someday in one of these 3. Texas, Florida, or Australia. Some time in my life I want to move to one of those places, and someday one of you fuckers out there in Anfield Agenda land will be able to help this bald Irish man out with that. But yeah, I hope to get over there someday, mate. In my country, to join is a lot of money, said Johnny. Mate, you're here with us. Do you know what I mean? As long as you're in the chat and you're staying a part of our community, Johnny, and you're putting your comments in, buddy, never feel under any financial pressure in any way, shape or form. Just to have you guys with us is more than enough as well. Hit the subscribe button though. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't cost that, and to hit that and drop a like on the stream. Do you think Gini will leave for Barcelona after finding out they have to sell players to get the pie? Well, it was always going to be the case, Cameron, at Barcelona, that they had to sell players. Now, another aspect to look at with Barcelona is Ronald Koeman is a placeholder manager. There's presidential elections that are taking place. I think they're scheduled for March. And the guy that's going to win those presidential elections, he's made it known that his plan is to bring Xavi back in as manager. So whatever happens with Ronald Koeman, I think that the most he's going to be in Barcelona for is a year. So how much are the board going to back him then? So they're moving on players, as you can see. Obviously, they had Arthur going a bit of a swap with Juventus there. Miralem Pjanic going the opposite way. They're moving on Arturo Vidal. They've moved on Ivan Rakitic as well to Sevilla. And they're trying to move on Luis Suarez, although that deal to Juventus seems to be falling apart a little bit because Suarez can't get his Italian nationality before the deadline to register for the Champions League, so that's putting that deal in doubt. But to get back to Memphis Depay, the plan was that they wanted to go and get Lautaro Martinez from Inter Milan, but they hadn't got the funds to do that, and Inter weren't budging on selling him. So plan B is the obvious. It's look to who Ronald Koeman knows, and obviously he knows Memphis Depay from the Dutch national team, and he knows Gini Wijnaldum. Now Gini seems to have made his mind up. He's staying at Liverpool, but Memphis Depay, I could understand why he would move from Lyon to Barcelona, to be fair. That is a step forward in his career. I would argue that for Gini, moving to Barcelona at this moment in time wouldn't be a step forward in his career. So Barca have to free up funds, no doubt about it. That's the situation that they're in. They're paying an awful lot on wages. They've got an awful lot of transfer business wrong over the last few years. They tried to set up a deal, going back to the last window, I think, to send Antoine Griezmann to Paris Saint-Germain and bring Neymar the opposite way with quite a chunk of money involved in that, but that didn't materialise either. Michael Manning said, love the stream as always, Craig. Thank you. Prometheus said, come visit Cape Town. Again, not somewhere that I'm going to pretend that I want to go and live to, but definitely somewhere I want to go and visit, mate. The amount of Reds I know from South Africa, I'd love to go over there and say hello. Anfield Agenda on tour someday. You never know. Who was the saltiest person that came into your chat since you've started the channel? There's been a fair few Evertonian channels and fans that have come in and had a little dig. And when I say channels, I'm not talking about the fallout that I had with Toffee TV here, by the way. I'm not talking about them. That was not on the channel. I just mean smaller little channels and a few other bits and pieces of people that came. But yeah, it's Everton fans. Everton fans. And Barca. Actually, yeah. When we played Barca in the Champions League, the saltiness level was through the roof. Which centre-backs do we need? I don't know what we need, mate, but what we've been looking at was Diego Carlos. We're not going to do that. It's too expensive. There was talk about the guy Mondi from Real Betis. That's gone very quiet. There was talk yesterday about the guy from Sampdoria that we spoke about on the stream. Now, that may have some legs to it. 10.8 million quid, I believe, is the figure to get him at a Sampdoria. Not going to pretend that I know too much about the guy. But, you know, we are going to address the centre-back situation by the looks of things, but you know, Klopp seems to be keeping his cards quite close to his chest. Craig, if you had to lose one of the front three, who would it be? I don't play the games of if you had to, mate. The reason why is it never works out well. I can't come across well answering that question. I want us to enjoy the front three while they're here, because in my opinion they are the best front three in world football as a combination. So I don't want to lose any of them is the honest answer. I do think they need pressure on them though. I think they need somebody breathing down their throat. United fans are awful, said Elijah John 5. Honestly, I haven't had much issue with United fans. If anything, we've actually had a fair few United fans come over to the channel when Mark's been on and stuff and end up subscribing and staying and watching, because although we're a Liverpool channel, you know, we like to think that we talk sense about football and we're not here trolling people. So actually, yeah, United fans haven't been too bad so far. We need Thiago. I think he offers us a bit more, said Kmoy, or Kemoy, excuse me, mate. Kemoy. I'm not sure. Is it Kemoy? I'm so sorry that I can't get your name right, mate. That's my fault. Thiago will give us something different. There's no doubt about it. When players of his caliber become available at a reasonable price because of his contract situation, and he's issuing a come and get me plea to your club, you hope that we answer. Klopp has been glowing in his praise of Thiago over the course of Thiago's career. Klopp's mentioned on many occasions, particularly when he was in Germany, how good of a player Thiago is. He absolutely bossed the midfield in the Champions League final and in that whole little mini tournament that was going on there over the summer. So yeah, he would offer us something different because he's class. Liverpool JJ said, we accept fans from any team as long as they don't troll and make fun of us. Exactly. All that we ever ask, mate, is for everybody in the chat to show respect towards each other. And after that, sound. So we're not all going to agree all the time, but we can disagree in a nice way. But you know FSG's policy, said Elijah John 5. Yes, we do know the policy. The policy is that we don't go into debt, other than obviously for, you know, capital projects like the main stand, the training ground, stuff like that. Other than that, we spend within our means. And And I said to you guys in the stream last night that James Pearce reported that he was told Liverpool had lost somewhere around £100 million because of this pandemic, which is a lot of money. But we're not the only club, of course. Every club have been affected by it, and I don't know if we've been affected more than any other club. I can't say that. But yeah, the policy is to not go into debt, but these are exceptional times, and I really do think that going into 50 or 60 million quid's worth of debt right now might not be the worst thing to do. Even if it is against the policy, these are exceptional times, and exceptional times sometimes call for exceptional measures. So, you know, I'm hoping that if we can't get the business done that we want to with regards to outgoings, that maybe right at the end, common sense prevails and the owners do decide to you know, take on a loan of 50, 60, 70 million quid. Up hashtag United, said Harry Potter. Again, what they've done is amazing as well, to be fair. I mean, that's beyond amazing what they've managed to accomplish there. I don't know any of the guys involved, by the way, but like anyone else, I just look at it from afar and just say, fair play, well done. Klopp wants 2 signings, yes. Wide forward and centre-back. What have we got? I think we're a bit more of a clinical... No, I'm going to start that again. I think we need a more clinical finisher in the striking position. I love Firmino, but lately he's not up to the mark, said Enigma 11. Yeah, we discussed this at length lately, buddy, and I'm the biggest Bobby Firmino fan you're probably going to come across, and even I have to admit that he does need to up his game from his goal scoring side a little bit. I could take you through all the other stuff Bobby Firmino does, but everybody knows it. The only question mark is really around that final end product, and the game against Leeds, he should have scored. There's no denying that. I probably would have scored the chance that he missed. You probably would have scored the chance that he missed. So I'm trying not to let my love of Bobby Firmino blind me to the little blip that he's gone through, but I do think it is just a blip. But it kind of leads back to what we've always said here on the channel. The front three need pressure, and the front three don't have any pressure on them right now. And they're looking over the shoulder. Minamino could be that pressure. Minamino could step up and absolutely breathe down their necks a bit. But other than that, they're looking at Divock Origi. They're looking at a very young Raheem BREWSTER. And they're just, you know, seeing Shaqiri, and they're not the same level. They're not even the same ballpark, to be honest with you. All good players in their own right, but the drop off from the world-class front three we have to, you know, high-level footballers below that, there is a gap. And we do need to address that gap by bringing somebody in that will basically tap them on the shoulder and say, you've got the shirt now, but as soon as you slip up, as soon as I get my chance, that's my spot. That's the type of footballer we need to be bringing in. What else we got? Klopp wants Thiago, Daka and Sarr. I would say he probably does want those 3 players, mate. I mean, they're certainly players that we've looked at. Folks, get off Bobby's back. His link play and selfishness is unreal. See, Liam, I got accused of the exact same stuff that you're saying there, mate. I got accused of being blind to the stuff that Bobby's doing wrong. And I amn't. But I do have nothing but the utmost of admiration for Firmino. He's my favourite player. And I know everything that you're saying there. His link-up play is phenomenal. The graft that he puts in allows Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane to get the freedom to do what they do as well. The cleverness of his runs, pulling defenders away, defending from the front with the press. I can take you through all the things that Firmino does. I'm not hating on Firmino, but I'm also not going to sit here with rose-tinted glasses on and not speak the truth. The truth is that Roberto Firmino needs to up his goal scoring a little bit. That is the truth, I'm afraid. I don't want to be saying it. You've got John Aldridge, a legend of the club, coming out and saying similar from a point of having absolute admiration for Bobby Firmino as well. I mean, everyone loves Bobby, but, you know, we can't just sit here and not tell the truth. Us fans, we have the freedom to be able to tell the truth. The manager or the players or the staff, they probably can't speak maybe what's on their mind outside of the dressing room walls. But us as fans, we can. And you can critique a player without getting on their back. You know, not everyone's going to have a good period of time, but what we can believe in is that Bobby will get through this blip and we'll get back. And Bobby will be scoring 15 to 20 goals a season, which is the numbers I think he should be getting. And I do believe he'll do it. But I still think we need the pressure. We still need somebody breathing down their necks. What else have we got? Chelsea game predictions. We'll go through it all on Friday, ladies and gentlemen. We'll do a full preview on Friday for you guys. I've got a couple of guests coming up. Right, I've got a journalist from The Star in the UK. I don't want to drop names just yet, but he's going to be coming on next week. I think we're recording on Wednesday. Who else have we got coming on? Jack Gill. Jack Gill, we spoke about Jack Gill actually on the watch-along the other day. He correctly said that there was going to be a load of goals in the game. Now, you guys may know Jack Gill from the stuff he does with Redmen TV, but I know Jack Gill from before that when he did stuff with us. And we got in contact the other day and we said, why don't we have a little catch-up? So, going to be recording with Jack Gill of Redmen TV, I suppose, albeit not Paul or Chris. Still working with Redmen TV and a good friend of ours, so we're going to be having Jack on for a chat as well. James Pearce, still trying to pin down the exact day with him. Jim Boardman of the Mirror, we've got him lined up to come on as well. And the big one is going to be Paul Tompkins of the Tompkins Times. I'm reading his book right now and I'm making the notes for the interview. As soon as I've got that done, Paul said to give him a buzz and we'll sort out that interview as well. We've got loads of stuff coming up on the channel. I can't believe the level we're getting to with regard to the type of people that are willing to come on and have a chat with us. So stick with us, ladies and gents, because I think our little community here has only gone one way. I'm going to call it a night there, my friends, but as I do finish up the stream, again, I ask you guys just that one favour. Please do download the Flick Chat app. Please do look in the description of the stream and click on that link. The app is free. You can get it on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. I promise you, you've got my Craigie guarantee here. You're going to love the app. You're going to help us out more than you'll ever know by just downloading that app. We need to try and get the numbers up there to around 1,000 as quick as we can. For operational reasons that I can't say, and it isn't financial, believe it or not. I'm not holding back anything there from you, but we do need to try and get the numbers up on there to make it worth the while. So again, don't forget about our competition as well. We're giving away this signed Kenny Dalglish 16x12 poster that's going to come with a certificate of authenticity. We'll post it anywhere in the world. To be able to chance to win it, subscribe to the YouTube channel. You get another entry by following us on Instagram and on Twitter at Anfield Agenda on both. Join our Flick Chat group, that's another entry, and retweet the competition tweet, which is the pinned tweet on the Anfield Agenda Twitter account. I will potentially be back tomorrow, but I might take the day off, so don't hold me to it. But I will defo be back on Friday. We'll do a full preview of the Chelsea game. I'll give you guys my predicted 11, my score predictions as well. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. But I want to finish with a thank you again to all of you for your love and support. It means the world to us. It means the world to me on a personal level. You guys are what helps me get out of bed in the morning, as well as my lovely family, of course. Lots of love to each and every one of you. Stay well, stay safe, and up the Reds. Love to you all.